Started working on first finishing up the game, rewatching the game, obviously in all three phases, and then moving into around the dinner hour, start game planning for Washington State. Used the morning for that as well, and still far away there from having a great feel for what is a very good football team for the third week in a row. So, but looking back at the game against SC, really proud of the way our team played. No real change from how I felt after the game, other than probably more proud of what our guys accomplished. Probably get caught up in the motion a little bit of the disappointment of losing in triple overtime. And but when you watch how our team played, what our team did in that game, it was a really a fantastic football game with a disappointing outcome. But ready to move on, ready to move forward, and ready to start the second half of this football season with one game prior to the bye.
Start with Justin and then Jake.
When you look at these three losses, they're so close. What do you think is not allowing you guys to get on the other side of these games?
I don't know. I don't know what's not allowing us to. I mean, I would say if we hit on a 2-point play on the second time and they didn't hit theirs, then we would have won the game. We had Jacob Cowling open in the end zone, and we wound up number 7 made a great play, and or we would have won. If Caleb gets knocked out an inch earlier than he did, then they didn't score on the third 2-point play. If T-Mac against Mississippi State doesn't go out of bounds by an inch, then we score a touchdown on that play and we win 28-24. There's just plays in these games. We have a double move with Jacob Cowling against Washington. We overthrow it. We get stopped, in a 3rd and 1 against Mississippi State. And that's just what the game is. But when I look at our team, I don't think there's any reason per se that I could point to that says why we won or why we didn't win. We just have to make one more play than we made at the right time. And, we could be sitting here having a much different conversation and probably being the story of college football.
And then thoughts on Noah Fafita getting freshman of the week?
Yeah, pretty awesome. Rightfully so. 5 touchdown passes. 300 yards, played against the Heisman Trophy winner, and went to triple overtime in his second ever start. I could think of, maybe 4 to 5 plays he'd want back out of the 35 pass attempts. And the one scramble, I think we didn't rush it very well. I think he had 9 carries for 12 yards, a couple of those being sacks, but I think he should be the freshman of the week. I was surprised Jacob Cowling wasn't the offensive player of the week. I don't know who was. But 4 touchdowns and 10 catches against SC is a pretty big deal. So there's my vote for Jacob Cowling to be the offensive player of the week. And I think that the Pac-12 did a nice job of having Noah as the freshman of the week.
David and then Brian.
And how do you quiet a very loud sector of your fan base that wants Noah Fafita to be your starting quarterback moving forward? And then what goes into that decision to decide whether to go for 2 to try to win the game in the first place?
Yeah, well, the first question is, we haven't made a decision in this program once about what, we decide what we think is best for the program from everything that we know and do and see. And we don't just listen to others in that decision. When it comes down to deciding who the starting quarterback is, when we played USC last year and lost 45-37 and Jaden threw 3 touchdown passes, ran for another, and had 387 yards passing, everybody was clamoring that he should have been the player of the week. I think that everybody has short-term memories. Everybody likes to live in the now, live in the present. Noah has done a fantastic job, and having 2 quarterbacks is better than none. And I think we're in a very good place at the quarterback position as we move forward. I would also say that, I've lived through a lot of these. I lived through situations where your starting quarterback is playing, he earned his position, backup quarterback goes in, backup quarterback plays well, starting quarterback goes back in, starting quarterback plays even better than he's ever played. I've seen it the other way. I've seen it in every way, shape, or form over 25 years and 20 of them coaching quarterbacks. So I look forward to both of those guys getting better every week, and we'll figure out as we go how that process works. In turn of, I don't know who's going to start this week because I don't know how healthy Jayden is. We'll see. He's healthier than he was last week. He's better than he was the week before. And we'll let that play out as we roll into this next game. I think that everybody's looking for wins, and that's what everybody's excited about. And, we started the season 3-1. We've lost the last 2 in a row, and our goal is to get back on the winning side of things this coming week. As for the second part of the question about going for 2, I would say that what goes into it is, do you love your 2-point play right off the bat? We called a 2-point play earlier in the game because it was 28-26. So let's say we called our number 1 2-point play in the game. So now it's 28-all. Now we're going to our second best 2-point play. We held Caleb to 1 yard rushing in the fourth quarter, 43 yards passing. Our defense had no problem stopping their offense. To decide to put it in my hands as the play caller and the quarterback's hands with let's call it with a 2-point play that I knew we were going to have to go to next, that it was, didn't seem that we didn't need to do that at that moment in time. As the offensive coordinator, I would have done it. I would have pushed for it. But as the head coach, I got to stand in there and talk to the defense and say, you guys have played better than any team has played this team in 2 years. You guys held the Heisman Trophy winner to 1 yard rushing and 40 yards passing in the fourth quarter. So I'm going to take it into my own hands and either win or lose a game on one play. And I didn't feel that was the right thing to do.
Brian and then Justin.
You had a couple of roughing the passer calls against you guys, and whether or not they were legit or not, is there a way that you can coach that out of guys, especially when quarterbacks aren't live in your practices and you're not hitting them? How do you teach them to just come to a stop?
Yeah. In practice, it's easy because they know they have to stay so far away from them. They're peeling off quickly. And, you make such a point of emphasis in practice of don't go near the quarterback, right? Don't go near them because of the fact that those things can happen. So then you get into a game and you make such a point of emphasis of being physical, hitting the quarterback. Every chance you have, if you could be close to the quarterback and be in position to make a play, make the play. There is that fine line of discipline of pulling off at the last possible second. I don't think that Justin needed to have that final shove. Do I think it impacted anything? No, but I think it was probably unnecessary after the throwaway on third down. I thought that there was probably another one that. Oh, yeah. I was trying not to reference exactly what happened, Brian, in case I didn't want to get held accountable for that. There was another one that I could think of that didn't necessarily look to be close enough to say that was a necessary call. But we've got to be great in terms of staying away from the quarterback. We've got to be great in terms of being disciplined in that regard. And we have to understand, if you're more than one step away, you can't hit them. And you can't land on them directly. You can't put all your body weight on them. So that's something we have to practice on with, stand-up dummies. That's something we have to practice with our D-line drills. That's something we have to continue to emphasize and not be in a position where that can affect the game, because I believe that on both those 15-yard penalty drives, there was points.
Justin and then Jason.
Based on what happened last season against Washington State, what's your message to Jayden this week, just in terms of handling emotions?
If he plays,
if he's able to play, considering now you guys are going to pull him down.
Yeah, my message to Jayden is always the same: that when you play with poise and when you play with confidence, you're one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and you've proven that. I think he's third or fourth in the country in passing yards over his career. Started 32 games. He's come here, has won, 8 games, 8-8 as a starter here. And when he plays like he does in the 8 that he started and we won, he was very poised and he didn't let the emotions get in the way of the game. When he played against Washington, when he played against USC, never let the emotions get in the way of the game. And played great football. We didn't come out on top, both games were fantastic games for him. If he plays like that, I have no doubt that we can compete with anybody in the country. If the emotions get the best of them, or of any player, they're never going to be at their best. So we have to ignore the noise. We have to be able to play smart, good football, not turn the ball over, protect the team, and make great decisions. And that's the message that I would give him. And the fact that he's going back to Pullman, I guess is a big deal. I don't think it's a really big deal, though. I mean, we played him already. We didn't play very well. We lost 31-20. And our job is to play better than that with a much better team than we had a year ago.
And then the play call in the end in triple overtime with the handoff to DJ, pitch to DJ. What did you like about that play that made you go with that?
Well, he ran it 6 times for 111 yards prior to that play in the game, or 5 times for 111 yards. I think we were averaging 19 yards per carry on the toss crack play, and we didn't block it right the 6th time. We had the Mike linebacker there, and we need to block the Mike linebacker, and we busted on that one rep. And if we did block it right, then we'd all be sitting here and it'd be 43 all, and it would have been a 4th time. We would have been our 4th overtime. But I love the idea that we were in a situation where we threw it once to T, then we threw it once to Jacob, and then we were on what ended up being the 3rd 2-point play. And we felt really good about that run. And looking back on it, I still feel really good about that run. And I would just say that we need to execute that better.
Last question to Jason.
2 quick questions. The play under 4 minutes, the long T-Mac.
The go route?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your thinking behind that call at that point?
Well, it was 1st and 10, I believe. It was 28 all. We just got to the 35-yard line or so. I think we're somewhere around that. I expected them to play field cover 2, field 6, and which they played. And we felt as if we were going to be able to have an opportunity to get T-Mac down the sideline. And we left it too far inside, and which caused T-Mac to have to then leak inside and try to make a acrobatic catch. But you have four guys going vertical. You have the back one-on-one on the Mike linebacker. And it's probably a play that we've called 50 times in the last 3 years. And we just wound up throwing an incompletion.
And then just because I asked the same question last week.
Yeah.
If Jaden is healthy, is he ready to work out?
Same answer, Jason. Yep. We'll play with Jaden if he is 100% healthy. He will start on Saturday. And if he is not, then Noah will start on Saturday. And that's the way it'll work.